Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're getting into something that really messes with how we think about fairness.
Hmm.
It's this basic idea we have. People should only be judged for what they actually control, right?
Right. Seems fundamental.
But then you look around, and so often things completely outside their control. They end up shaping how we see them, their actions, their whole moral standing.
Yeah, it's a real paradox when you start thinking about it.
Yeah.
How much is actually us and how much is just circumstance?
Exactly. So today we're doing a deep dive into a concept that tackles this head on: moral luck.
It's a fascinating and frankly pretty challenging idea from philosophy.
It really is. Our mission today is to unpack it, look at the different angles based on insights from the Enigma of Moral Luck, and explore what it means for how you judge people, maybe even yourself.
Okay, so the starting point usually is what philosophers call the control principle.
Right.
The basic idea that, we judge people on their intentions, their decisions, the things we assume they're in charge of.
Yeah, it feels like the absolute foundation for ethics, for law, for everything.
It does. But moral luck comes along and just throws a spanner in the works.
As so.
Well, it points out that two people can have the exact same intentions, make the exact same choices.
Okay.
But purely because of chance, because of luck, the outcomes are completely different. And that difference radically changes how we judge them.
Right. So the luck happens after the intention and the action?
Or even before, as we'll see. But yes, the outcome changes the judgment, even if the person's input was identical. It makes you question how much blame or credit is really earned versus just stumbled upon.
Okay. Let's make that concrete. That classic example, the drunk drivers.
Yeah, that one really hits home.
So imagine driver A and driver B. Both make the terrible decision to drive home drunk. Same bad choice, same recklessness.
Identical situation, morally speaking, at the start.
Driver A, though, well, just by sheer luck, gets home without incident. Nothing happens. Maybe a close call, but that's it.
Whew, dodged a bullet.
Yeah.
Lucky break.
But driver B, same action, same state, but maybe swerves at the wrong second, or a pedestrian steps out, also due to luck, or the absence of it,
Right. Terrible luck.
and hits someone. Now, the initial act, identical. But our judgment,
Oh, completely different. Driver B is seen as far, far worse.
Yeah.
Criminal negligence, maybe manslaughter, huge consequences.
while driver A maybe gets a talking to if caught, or just feels a bit guilty, the moral judgment from society is vastly different.
Exactly. And that difference hinges almost entirely on luck, on the outcome, not the intention or the initial action.
It really shows how powerful that outcome bias is, even when we say we care most about intentions. You see it everywhere, not just driving. Business deals, arguments.
Absolutely. And this isn't just a one-off thing. The philosopher Thomas Nagel actually broke it down, showing how many different ways luck messes with our moral lives.
Okay, so there are categories of this.
Yeah, he identified a few key types. The first one is probably the most obvious, building on that driver example, resultant luck.
Resultant. So, luck in the results of your actions.
Precisely. How things turn out purely by chance after you've acted. The source gives an example like two people trying to commit the same crime.
Okay.
One fails because, I don't know, a police car just happens to drive by at that exact moment, pure bad luck for them.
Right.
The other succeeds because no police car comes by. Good luck for them, bad luck for society. Same plan, same intent, same attempt. Totally different outcome and probably different consequences because of chance.
That makes sense. The outcome shapes the story we tell about the action, even if the action itself was the same.
Exactly. But Nagel didn't stop there. He also talked about circumstantial luck.
Circumstantial. Luck in the circumstances you face.
Yeah, the luck of the situations life throws at you. Think about it. One person might live in a peaceful, stable society their whole life. They're never really tested by extreme moral choices.
Okay, comfortable life, morally speaking.
Relatively, yeah. But someone else might be born into, say, a war-torn country or extreme poverty. They face brutal choices constantly, maybe life or death decisions we can't even imagine.
Choices the first person never even had to contemplate.
Right. Their circumstances, purely by luck of where and when they were born, force them into moral territory the first person never enters. So how can we judge their actions by the same standard? Their moral test is completely different.
Wow. That really broadens it out from just the outcome of a single action.
It does. And it gets even deeper. Nagel also identified constitutive luck.
Like what constitutes you, your makeup.
Exactly. Luck in who you are fundamentally. Your innate temperament, your personality traits, maybe even genetic predispositions towards patience or anger or compassion.
Wait, so things like being naturally calm or easily angered? That's luck.
According to this view, yeah.
Yeah.
You didn't choose your basic temperament or talents or inclinations. They're part of the package you were born with.
Hmm.
Yet those traits heavily influence the choices you make, how you respond to situations, your overall moral character. But you didn't earn that starting point. It was luck.
That's a tough one to swallow because we like to think we build our own character.
We definitely shape it,
Hmm.
but the raw materials. Nagel says that's luck. And then there's one more layer, causal luck.
Causal luck. Luck in. The causes of your actions.
Sort of. It's about how your past, your upbringing, your environment, all things largely outside your control causally determine the way you are and the choices you make now.
So like how you were raised, the experiences you had.
Yeah, all that history feeding into the present moment. The idea is that the chain of causes stretching back means your current actions are, in a way, the result of factors set in motion long before you had any say. It connects to debates about free will, really.
Okay, so these four types, resultant, circumstantial, constitutive, causal, they cover a lot of ground. From the specific outcome to the situation you're in to who you are to how you got here.
Pretty much paints a picture where luck is. Well, everywhere in our moral lives.
Which leads to the big question. Why is this whole idea so controversial? It seems to just describe things we observe.
Well, the core issue is that clash with the control principle we mentioned earlier.
That you should only be judged for what you control.
Exactly. If Nagel is right, and luck influences the outcomes, the situations, our character, and even the causal chains leading to our actions, then what's left that we fully control?
Not much, it seems.
And if control is the basis for moral responsibility, and control is eroded by luck, then does responsibility itself start to dissolve?
Ah, I see. It threatens our whole concept of holding people accountable.
It does. And you see this tension playing out in real life. Look at the legal system.
Right. We talked about the drunk drivers. The outcome dictates vastly different sentences.
Precisely. Attempted murder versus actual murder.
No.
The intent might be identical, but the outcome often influenced by luck, like whether the victim gets immediate medical attention, changes the legal and moral judgment drastically.
So our systems do account for luck, even if we say we value intention more.
Often, yes.
Yeah.
Implicitly or explicitly. It creates this awkward gap between our stated principles and our actual practices.
Which forces us to ask that really profound question about moral responsibility itself.
Yeah. If luck is woven so deeply into everything, our actions, their results, who we are, can we ever be fully responsible in the way we usually think?
It's a destabilizing thought. Does it mean no one is ever truly praiseworthy or blameworthy?
That's the extreme conclusion some might draw. Others try to find ways to reconcile responsibility with the reality of luck, but it definitely challenges our confidence in simple judgments.
So circling back, we started with this paradox.
Yeah.
We judge based on control, but luck constantly interferes. And exploring moral luck just deepens that paradox.
It really does. It shows how chance events, big and small, can fundamentally alter not just what happens, but how we assign value and blame.
It's a lot to think about. It really challenges you to reconsider how you view people's actions, their successes, their failures.
Absolutely. So the final thought to leave you with is this. If moral luck permeates our lives to this extent, shaping outcomes, circumstances, even our very nature, what does that really mean for being responsible? And maybe, just maybe, how might acknowledging luck change the way you look at others, or even yourself? Perhaps it calls for a bit more humility, a bit more empathy when we're quick to judge, something to carry with you.